The first time Clara promised me the promotion, it was snowing outside the 21st floor windows of Blue Peak Strategies. The whole city looked like a blank spreadsheet waiting to be filled. I stayed late again, finalizing analytics for the Weston campaign, while everyone else had gone to the rooftop bar to celebrate team success. When she finally stepped into my cubicle, heels clicking like punctuation, I straightened in my chair. "Erin, this presentation? You saved that account." I smiled, tired, hopeful. "Just doing my job." She laughed softly, the kind that sounds generous but ends with an underline. "You did more than your job. Keep this up, and next quarter, that manager position, it's yours." That was the first promise. I remember every word of it, like the sound of a pen clicking before a signature that never comes. Blue Peak wasn't the friendliest place. It was glass walls and quiet competition. My department thrived on caffeine, fake compliments, and the constant hum of Slack pings. But I believed hard work spoke louder than office gossip. I spent weekends polishing client decks, fixing other people's typos, creating dashboards no one asked for. My only friend in the chaos was Liam, one of our designers. He'd stop by my desk with cold brew and say, "You know they'd fall apart without you, right?" I'd laugh. "Don't tell them that. They'll make me pay rent to stay." And then there was Tessa. She floated through the office like perfume, loud, pretty, impossible to ignore. She didn't know analytics, but she knew how to orbit Clara perfectly. Compliments, quick laughs, subtle flattery. I used to think it was harmless. Until it wasn't. That Friday, we had team drinks at Harlow's, one of those fancy rooftop places where the cocktails cost as much as my weekly groceries. Clara raised her glass, to my team, especially Erin, who went above and beyond. "Let's see what next quarter brings." Everyone cheered. Even Tessa winked at me. For once, I let myself believe it. That maybe loyalty and effort still meant something in this city. When I got home that night, I dropped my heels at the door, looked at my reflection in the hallway mirror, and whispered to myself, "You earned it this time." I wish I knew that was the last time those words would still sound innocent. 3 months later, the office smelled like burnt coffee and tension. Promotion day. I ironed my blazer twice that morning, navy, sharp, serious, because if there was ever a day I wanted to look like a manager, this was it. Clara had been dropping hints for weeks. "You'll want to be in the all-hands meeting, Erin," she'd said with that knowing smile. "Big announcements coming." The conference room was already full when I arrived. Tessa sat near the front, legs crossed, hair perfect, chatting with the finance lead like she owned the place. I took my usual seat 2 rows back. Liam gave me a thumbs up from the AV booth. Clara stepped to the podium, lipstick the same deep red as her promotion binder. "We've had an incredible quarter. And one of you has shown exceptional growth and leadership. Someone who embodies Blue Peak's collaborative spirit." My pulse picked up. I folded my hands tightly on the table. Then she said it. "Our new marketing manager, Tessa Moore." Applause. Confetti animation on the slides. And me, frozen. Tessa gasped, fake modesty on her face, eyes glistening. "Oh my God, Clara, I didn't expect this." Laughter, cheers. Clara hugged her. I forced a smile. Tried to clap. My hands felt like stone. Afterward, as the crowd thinned, Tessa found me by the coffee station. "Wild, right? Honestly, I thought you'd get it." She sipped her latte, then smirked. "But maybe Clara just saw I'm better with people." I bit the inside of my cheek so hard it almost drew blood. That evening, I stayed after everyone left, staring at my name on the door, Erin Hale. Senior analyst. The same as it had been for 2 years. My inbox chimed, a congratulatory email chain. "Congrats, Tessa. So deserved. Future VP." I scrolled through them numb, until I saw a forwarded thread from Liam. He'd heard Tessa in the break room saying, Clara finally realized Erin's just numbers, no warmth, no leadership vibe. I told her months ago. So that's how. Not merit. Manipulation. Not leadership. Lip service. The weight in my chest turned from hurt to heat, cold, precise, metallic. I closed my laptop slowly and whispered to the empty office, next time, it won't be me smiling politely. And for the first time, I meant it. The week after Tessa's promotion felt like living in a mirror maze, every reflection slightly warped, every compliment edged. She decorated her new office with plants and fairy lights, called herself Team Mom, and started forwarding my reports with her signature on top. Clara CC'd her on everything now. I was invisible, except when they needed my data. At first, I tried to stay professional. Smile. Collaborate. Pretend the knife didn't still have my fingerprints on it. But the cracks were showing, and not just in me. Tessa couldn't manage a calendar, let alone a client. She mixed up deadlines, sent wrong budgets, even misquoted ad spend to a major account. Each time, Clara swooped in like a mother bird, smoothing feathers, blaming system errors. Liam saw it too. One night, as we both stayed late again, he rolled his chair over to my desk and whispered, "You notice how Clara's using your Q4 analytics in her exec updates?" I frowned. "What do you mean, using?" He spun his monitor toward me, a slide deck with my graphs, my formatting, my conclusions, but with Clara's initials on the footer. My stomach dropped. She didn't even change the color scheme. Liam grimaced. Guess plagiarism's her management style. I laughed, a sharp sound that didn't feel like mine. The next morning, I checked our shared drive. Half my reports were duplicated under Clara's folder. Date stamps altered, my name stripped. That was the moment the air shifted. All the long nights, the polite smiles, the quiet faith, gone. I started saving everything. Screenshots. Drafts. Slack messages. Even timestamps of when I'd uploaded files. HR had been quietly investigating inconsistencies, already. I overheard them near the kitchen one afternoon. Maybe fate had decided to give me a small head start. That night, at home, I opened a new folder on my desktop. Named it simply, Receipts. Inside, I dropped the first file, client report _final _original _by _eh.pdf. The sound of the saved file ping was small, almost innocent. But it was the first note in a much louder symphony. And as I stared at that folder, I realized something that made me smile for the first time in weeks. Clara might have taught me the politics of power, but she forgot I was the one who understood data. And data doesn't lie. Revenge, I realized, wasn't rage. It was architecture. The first blueprint began with a spreadsheet, ironic, but fitting. Each tab held a category: emails, reports, approvals, dinner expenses, messages. I wasn't guessing anymore, I was building a case. By day, I played the same quiet, diligent role. By night, I became something else, patient, invisible, focused. It started small. Clara's client dinners, at the Ivory Room? I found the receipts in the finance logs. 2 guests, not 4. Wine listed under consulting costs. The signature didn't even match the client's. I cross-referenced the date. She and Tessa were tagged at a rooftop bar that night. Then came the Slack messages. I exported our team channel history. Tessa's tone changed after every meeting with Clara, flattery, subtle digs at me, the word "colda" used 6 times in 3 months. Every breadcrumb led to a bigger trail, favoritism disguised as mentorship, fraud disguised as leadership. Liam helped, though he never asked for details. "You're different lately," he said one evening. Sharper. I smiled faintly. "I'm just learning the rules of the game." He studied me. "You're planning something." I didn't answer. Silence was safer. When you want to bring someone down, you can't just tell the truth, you have to make the truth undeniable. I started saving Clara's edits to my reports. Every time she rebranded my work, she left metadata intact, timestamps, version history, my initials buried inside. Beautiful digital fingerprints. Then I turned my focus to timing. Blue Peak's quarterly all-hands was coming up, Clara's favorite stage. She'd be presenting our success metrics. My metrics. But exposing her outright wouldn't be enough. I needed proof that she spread gossip, she manipulated promotions, she built her power on lies. So I created a test. I typed a fake update into a private Slack with Liam, something small but sensitive, heard the new Westfield account might merge with Apex next month. Keep quiet for now. Within hours, Tessa casually mentioned to Clara that Erin's been talking about big client changes. By morning, a VP asked me, "Is Apex merging?" Clara said you knew. Perfect. The bait worked. The leak was confirmed. That night, I sat alone in my apartment, the city buzzing outside, the glow of my monitor washing over me. In the HR portal, there was a whistleblower inbox, encrypted, anonymous. I uploaded everything. Screenshots, receipts, version histories, timestamps. Then I attached one final file labeled, Chain of Communication, Internal Breach Evidence. But before I hit send, I whispered, let's see how transparent our leadership really is. Click. Sent. The rumor spread like perfume, invisible, fast, and exactly where I wanted it. By Monday morning, it had reached Clara's office. So, she said casually during stand-up, any news from the Westfield account, Erin? I looked up from my notes. None that's been announced. She smiled that same managerial smile, the one that could be printed on corporate mugs. Good. Let's keep surprises to a minimum. By lunch, I got a message from HR, we've received a report of possible information leaks. Please confirm availability for a meeting. Bingo. That evening, Liam found me in the break room, nervously stirring sugar into his coffee. They called me too, he said quietly. They're tracing it, I said. Clara? Always Clara. For the next 2 days, the office moved like it was holding its breath. Slack went silent. People spoke in whispers. Tessa kept glancing at me like she was waiting for me to crack first. Meanwhile, HR pulled digital logs. The leak had been traced to Clara's laptop. Apparently, she'd forwarded confidential speculation to an executive chat, a chat that included the CEO. And the timing? 5 minutes after Tessa messaged her. That was all I needed. The trap had sprung cleanly. Blue Peak's quarterly all-hands was scheduled for Friday, the same one Clara had been bragging about for weeks. My big stage, she called it. I smiled politely and asked, will you be showing Q4 analytics? She winked. Of course. The board loves those charts. I spent Thursday night in my apartment rehearsing lines. Not emotional ones, factual. Dates, files, metrics, timestamps. Truths sharp enough to cut. Standing before the mirror, I practiced the tone, calm, precise, surgical. Transparency is the backbone of Blue Peak, I said, echoing Clara's own slogan. Let's demonstrate it. Sleep didn't come easily. I lay awake listening to the city hum, heartbeat syncing with the radiator's rhythm. The kind of silence before a storm. Friday morning, HR's head, a woman named Denise, stopped by my desk. Erin, she said quietly, I reviewed your submission. We'll handle this appropriately. Her eyes met mine, a steady, knowing. Just, stay calm in the meeting. At 10 a.m., the company gathered. Rows of employees, screens projecting charts, the skyline framed behind the glass walls. Clara took the mic with her usual confidence. Before we begin, I want to highlight our team's success. The analytics you'll see represent months of hard work from everyone, especially our leadership. My leadership. Liam caught my eye from across the room. One nod. Clara opened the slide deck, my deck, and began. Here we can see Q4 performance. Then Denise raised a hand from the front row. Actually, Clara, we'll need to clarify the authorship of this report first. A pause rippled through the room. Clara blinked. Excuse me? Denise gestured. Perhaps Erin can explain. I rose from my seat. My pulse was calm now, like the eye of a storm. Sure, I said. And the room went silent. Every sound in the room seemed amplified, the buzz of lights, the shuffle of chairs, the faint click of someone's pen. Clara turned to me, still smiling, but her voice wavered. Erin, I'm not sure what this is about. I walked to the front, plugged in my flash drive, and said evenly, this report, the one presented as yours, was authored entirely by me. Every dataset, every graph, every insight. Here's the version history. The screen changed. Metadata, timestamps, file names, all bearing my initials. A soft murmur rippled through the audience. Clara laughed nervously. Erin, there must be a misunderstanding. These reports were team efforts, were they? I interrupted. Click. Next slide, Slack messages between Clara and Tessa. Clara, need Erin's report before exec review. Tessa, on it. I'll send you her draft before she uploads. Clara, perfect. I'll tweak and remove her name. Gasps filled the room. Clara's voice cracked. This is private communication. Denise from HR stood. Private company channels aren't exempt when there's misconduct. I stepped aside as Denise continued. Additionally, financial audit logs show misused client funds, and internal tracking links this activity to your account, Miss Vance. The words landed like punches. Tessa tried to speak, but Denise cut her off. And you, Miss Moore, knowingly participated in this breach. For a moment, no one moved. Then 2 security officers entered quietly through the back door. Clara's face went pale. This isn't happening, she whispered. But it was. Denise's tone stayed calm. Miss Vance, please come with us. The sound of Clara's heels across the tile was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. As she passed me, our eyes met. She opened her mouth, maybe to beg, maybe to curse, but I didn't care enough to find out. I closed the laptop, turned to the silent crowd, and said, guess whose leadership material now? No one laughed. But everyone remembered. A week later, Clara's office was empty. The blinds were open now, sunlight spilling across the desk where she once made promises she never meant to keep. Her nameplate was gone, just faint adhesive residue on the glass. HR announced her departure in a short memo. No details, no fanfare. Tessa resigned the same day. Some said she left to focus on personal growth. I didn't bother asking. When I walked past Clara's office that Friday, Denise stopped me. You might want to check your email. I opened it right there in the hallway. Subject, appointment confirmation. Message, congratulations, Erin Hale, Marketing Director, Blue Peak Strategies. The title sat on the screen like a crown forged from patience and proof. Tessa appeared at my door later, hesitant smile in place. Hey, I just wanted to say, I looked up from my laptop. We'll be restructuring roles soon. You'll hear from HR. Her smile vanished. That night, I stayed late again, same window, same city view, different nameplate. I thought about the first time Clara promised me a promotion, and how small I felt believing her. Then I smiled. She promised me a promotion, I whispered, tracing my new title with one finger. I took her title instead. So, what would you have done? Because where I come from, justice doesn't wait for karma. It waits for timing. Like, share, and subscribe, because on Savage Revenge, every promise comes due.